Hi there, I'm Jeannie with ParkBenchNaturals, and today we are making some Rosemary Mint lye soap. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take our coconut oil, which we've already measured out. We're going to put it on a double boiler, which is basically a pot of water, which is placed on a heating stand. Fancy, right? Yeah. And then we are going to move our camera over to the side. Okay. The coconut oil, we're going to make 10 pounds of soap. And we have 56 ounces of coconut oil. And to that, we are going to add 42 ounces of shea butter. This is going to be an, I would say, a vegan soap. So there won't be any animal fats in it whatsoever. Most of my soaps, in fact, all of them except for this one, contain animal fats, specifically tallow, which comes from a cow. Here at Lost Lighthouse Ranch, where my soap shack for ParkBenchNaturals is located, we raise grass-fed cattle. Currently, we have 20 head of them. Our bull's name is Oxford, and he is a Scottish Highland bull. And then our mama cows are all Black Angus. They don't see traffic. They don't see a whole lot of people. They just like hang out as a family unit and enjoy each other. Okay, so while we wait for this to melt, we are going to go outside and mix our lye water. So I will see you outside in a minute. Okay, and here we are outside. This is actually the middle of August in Western Kentucky, not my normal time of pouring soap because it is hot and humid. First thing we're going to do is put on some heavy-duty gloves to protect ourselves. And then we're going to take our pre-measured lye and pour it into our water. Since this is a vegan soap, the only liquids in it are going to be distilled water. All of my other soaps, I put, besides the tallow for the fat, I also put in milk, which helps the soap just to be a little creamier. But I have a lot of clientele who just don't want, they just want a vegan or vegetarian type of soap. So I'm just going to stir this up. I do this outside and I do it upwind. You don't want to get a whiff of this stuff. It is very caustic. Yeah. Okay. And while we let that cool down, we'll go back inside and work on the rest of it. Okay, so we're back inside, and as you can see, our solid fats are starting to melt down a little bit. So at this point in time, I'm going to put in some what I call hemp sludge. This gives the soap some pretty speckles in it and also a little bit of exfoliating properties. So we're just going to pour it right in. It's kind of thick and tarry-like. Okay, and we're going to stir that in, and we're going to continue to allow our solid fats to melt down. And we're also, during this time, letting our lye water come down to about 110 degrees. That's what we're looking for. Okay, and now, as you can see, all of our solid fats have liquefied. So I have turned the heat way down to minimum, and we are going to add in our liquids, our liquid oils. The first one is castor oil. Ooh. Castor oil adds bubbles. Everybody likes bubbles in their soap. Each oil that you use in soap making brings different properties to the soap. I have certain numbers that I am looking for. I'm looking so that my soap is going to be hard, so it'll last a long time, but I don't want it to be too harsh or too cleansing. I like it to be more conditioning. I like it to be bubbly and creamy. And then there are other properties, like one is called iodine and the other is anise, and I like to balance those at about the iodine around 51 and the anise around 160. This particular recipe, after I put it through the soap calc, the iodine is at 51 and the anise is at 164. The other oil we're putting in is some really nice Kentucky Hemp Seed Oil. I happen to have a friendship with the growers, the girls who own Kentucky Hemp Works in Crofton, Kentucky. They're phenomenal individuals, very well versed in the world of hemp as well as CBD. So if you ever have any questions on any of that stuff, you can reach out to me or you can reach out to Kentucky Hemp Works. Any of us would be more than happy to help you out with that. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this completely off and let it cool down to 110 degrees. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to go check and see how our lye solution is doing and wait for it to also cool down to 110 degrees. Okay, talk to you in a minute. Okay, and welcome back. Now our oils have cooled down to 100 degrees and our lye solution has also cooled down to 100 degrees. When I mix my lyes and oils together, I like them to be right around the same temperature, anywhere from 90 degrees to 110 degrees. That's what I find works the best. Okay, since we're going to be playing with the lye again, let's put on our handy dandy gloves. Kind of are the same color as scrubs, aren't they? Or traditional scrubs. Okay, so we're going to take our cooled lye solution and pour it into our oil solution. Nice and easy and carefully. Voila. Okay, and we'll set that aside. Give this a quick little stir to start incorporating it. And the next thing we're going to add is going to be our essential oils. But I want this to be mixed up just a little bit better, so I'm going to use my handy dandy emulsion stick. That will incorporate it quickly. But today's really hot and really humid. Your ambient temperature can definitely affect how fast you come to trace on your oils. And this one seems to be coming along pretty quickly. So I'm going to take my wooden spoon out. Set it aside. And then I'm going to pour my essential oils. This one is Rosemary Mint. And it's already pre-weighed out at 6.56 ounces. That's because I use my essential oils at a ratio of 0.75%. And we are doing approximately 10 pounds of soap. So we now just mix it all together and wait for it to come to trace. You'll know when it's hit trace because it'll look like it's getting pudding-like. Like right now it's not. It's just mixing nicely. And you can vary your speed. You can see the little brown flecks in it that are coming up, and those again are the byproducts of the hemp seeds. They give it a little bit of a visual appeal, but they also give it a little bit of exfoliating properties. Okay, it's coming along nicely, starting to thicken up a little bit. Give it another go. It's starting to come to trace. I can see the little lines on it. Looks kind of like pudding. See how it's starting to thicken up a little bit? Everybody pours their soaps a little bit differently. I don't like mine to be real thin, but I don't like it if it gets so thick it's seizing up on me either. Okay, so this is starting to trace pretty quick. I'll put this away also. Okay, and the next step is to actually pour it into our molds. Our molds are handmade by my husband and son. They've made me a few of them. My favorites are the ones made out of cedar wood, and the reason that they're my favorite is because they're a little more flexible. The cedar wood is a little softer of a wood. Okay. So I'm gonna take my soap batter. Oh, this end piece is acting funny on me. Actually, don't even need that. Okay, and we're going to just pour it in. Shake the mold, get it in there nice and even. Okay, I still have some batter in my bowl, so what I'm going to do is grab one of these small silicone molds, slide that out of the way, and we'll just start filling the little silicone molds. If you've ever ordered off of my website, www.ParkBenchNaturals.com, you've most likely gotten a little miniature soap included in your order. I'd make them with just the extra batter that comes from pouring my regular soaps. And I just throw them all in a basket together after they're cured, so I have no idea. People ask me at the farmer's market and stuff, what's the scent or the flavor, whatever you want to call it, the aroma. And I get nose blind to this stuff, so, and since there's just miniature ones, I don't take the time to label them. I just think they're kind of cute. They're nice to throw in your purse. Like if you're out shopping or at a restaurant, you need to use a public restroom. No way am I using the soaps that they have in public bathrooms anymore. They all have the pesticides in them as an antibacterial agent, and I am not putting that on my skin. I would rather have germy hands than pesticides on them. And I know I get funny looks sometimes by ladies when I just walk out of the bathroom without washing my hands, but you don't know what you don't know, and I understand that. And then there's the whole dialogue on the the hand blowers. I definitely am not using those. I am a fan of paper towels for drying my hands. I always have a variety of essential oils that I carry in my purse anyway, so if I feel like my hands are getting real germy, then I'll just pull out some essential oils, some tea tree or something, roll it on. I have just a little bit more batter, so I'm going to try and get it to fit into this big mold. Like baking a cake, huh? It's kind of the same consistency. It's been a little while since I baked a cake though, honestly. Okay, so I'm going to take the spatula and smooth it out a little bit. Then I'm going to show you how I make the really cool designs that go on the top. Does this look familiar? Where are you? There we are. It's one of those little corn on the cob thingies. Okay. Take these off so I can work a little better. So I just take this and just do a fancy little swirl. Up one side and down the other. And the soap batter is thick enough that it will hold the design, and it will go through its gel phase and harden and stay just like this. I use a lot of science and put my calculations through a soap calculator. The one that I'm currently using for this batch is from soapcalc.net. And that way I don't have to worry about doing ZAP tests or worry about what the pH is, worry about that it's going to hurt somebody. This soap is going to be a nice, creamy, lathery, good smelling soap that's going to be conditioning for your skin. Ta-da! Now it'll sit in this mold for anywhere from 24 to 72 hours, just depending on, again, the ambient temperature and humidity and how well it sets up. And at that point in time, I will dump it out, cut it up, let it rest for 6 weeks, and then I will label it and list it for sale. And that's when it'll be ready for you, my natural friends, to use. I appreciate your visit with me today, and I hope you got something out of it. Stay natural.